Hi, my name is Joseph Donahue, and I'm a partner at Block, O'Toole & Murphy. Today we're going to be talking about ceiling collapses. In New York City, buildings are decades old. And because buildings are decades old, the pipes within those buildings are decades old as well. And when pipes get old, they leak. When pipes leak in buildings, it frequently results in ceiling collapses. And ceiling collapse incidents have become a big problem here in New York City. The most important thing about ceiling collapses is to figure out how to prevent them. If you live in a building and you notice a leak coming through your ceiling, it's important to notify the owner of the building and the landlord right away. It's important that they're notified so they can come in, make a determination of where the water is coming from, repair it, and make sure that your ceiling is secure and not at risk for falling. If they fail to remedy the condition, the landlord and the owner is responsible for all injuries that result from the ceiling collapse. Thankfully, in many instances where the landlord or the owner does not take the proper steps to repair a ceiling that has been affected by a leak and the ceiling collapses, no one is injured. However, there are many times where, unfortunately, a ceiling collapses and lands on a person living in the apartment. A lot of times, when a ceiling collapses and lands on people, those individuals suffer serious injuries. And they suffer serious injuries because when a ceiling, whether made of plaster or sheetrock or other material, gets wet and falls, it is extremely heavy, and the trauma that it inflicts on a person is significant. If you've been injured by a ceiling collapse, it is imperative that you immediately contact a lawyer. It's important to contact a lawyer that has a vast amount of experience and knowledge handling cases where an individual is injured in a ceiling collapse. An experienced lawyer is going to know that an immediate investigation is essential into determining what caused the ceiling collapse and who is at fault. But it's also important to find a lawyer that has the trial experience specifically as it relates to ceiling collapse cases to prove the case at trial. Here at Block, O'Toole & Murphy, we have the experience of not only conducting investigations, gathering evidence, but in taking ceiling collapse cases to trial and successfully obtaining verdicts on behalf of our client to hold owners and landlords responsible for failing to provide their tenants with a safe place to live. If you or a loved one or someone you know has been injured as a result of a ceiling collapse, please call the lawyers at Block, O'Toole & Murphy.